I'm not here to complain. I just want to get it fixed.
Just a number. It makes it look like I did something fine.
I'm crazy. I don't know the fuck they think they play with. I don't play no motherfucking games. I'll fuck you up, motherfucker. I'll fuck you up. I don't play no motherfucking games. Okay, let's go. Watch out, guys. Watch out.
What takes place when two generations of boxing greatness unexpectedly cross paths? Not inside a packed arena or beneath the spotlight of a major fight night, but right in the heart of Dubai International Airport. The result? Total commotion. Terence "Bud" Crawford and Floyd "Money" Mayweather, both celebrated figures who dominated different eras of the sport, suddenly found themselves standing face to face in a setting nobody saw coming. What followed was far from a friendly exchange. Instead of greetings or mutual respect, Crawford reportedly threw a punch. That's right, Bud took a swing at Floyd Mayweather inside Dubai Airport. And the video circulating online has already sent shockwaves throughout the boxing community. But this incident goes beyond a simple confrontation. The encounter is closely connected to speculation surrounding Mayweather's return to professional boxing, his anticipated matchup with Mike Tyson, and the long-running argument over boxing's ultimate all-time great. When comparing Crawford and Mayweather, who truly deserves the crown?
Who do you think wins in a fight, you or Prime Floyd?
Me.
No questions?
Why would you think that I would say Floyd? You know, that's one of my favorite fighters. But yeah, nah.
Let's take a closer look at what happened. We'll cover how the clash began, what may have led to the tension with Floyd Mayweather, and why the situation became much bigger than it first appeared. Canelo Alvarez's name has also surfaced in the conversation, despite having no direct role in the incident. And if the rumors are accurate, this airport encounter could be the beginning of one of the biggest fights boxing has seen in years.
Wild, because like if you look at Floyd's resume, it's much deeper than Crawford's. And Floyd was faster and he had a better defense and all that stuff. But Floyd picked and chose when he fought guys, especially once he left lightweight. He wiped out the junior lights, bring him. Lightweight, he jumps up to Jose Luis Castillo first thing. A lot of people think he lost the first fight, I didn't, but then he won the rematch. But once he left lightweight, he was careful about when he fought guys. So even though his resume is deeper with names, people remember, yeah, but he didn't want it with certain dudes at certain times. Crawford, we all witnessed, even though the resume is thin in certain ways, he wanted it with everyone the whole time. Oh, yes. That makes a difference to people.
Witnesses say the tension started immediately. Floyd Mayweather was passing through the VIP area of Dubai Airport with his entourage when Terence Crawford, who had been making headlines since his big win over Canelo Alvarez, was also present at the same location. It started with a brief stare down, then quickly turned into heated words. Floyd Mayweather reportedly smirked and dismissed Crawford's win over Canelo Alvarez as overhyped, which immediately triggered a sharp response from Bud. Within moments, both entourages closed in as tensions escalated. Security stepped in, but the shouting continued. And then things turned physical. Crawford threw a punch at Floyd. Phones came out instantly, people began recording, and the clip quickly spread across social media worldwide. The airport scene descended into chaos, with both groups arguing loudly until security finally separated everyone before it got worse.
Oh, shit. For real. Let it go. Chill. Hey, knock it off. Fucking hands up. Hey, knock it off. Don't ever disrespect me. Don't ever disrespect me.
It wasn't just a physical altercation. It carried deeper meaning. This wasn't simply two fighters crossing paths. It represented pride, legacy, and the ongoing battle for boxing's greatest crown.
Excited to see Bud perform the way he performed against Canelo. I think boxing needed that fight. I think Bud showed up in the way he was supposed to. I think Canelo did as well, and the respect between the two men is what boxing is supposed to be. I can't talk about all the eras of boxing because I haven't seen them all, but I've seen Hagler Hearns. I've seen Sugar Ray Leonard and Marvin Hagler. Like I've seen all those things, and those fights were wars. Floyd Mayweather is the best boxer I've ever seen. He's the most skilled boxer I've ever seen. Bud, and this is just my opinion, is the baddest man I've seen wear boxing gloves. And here's why I say that.
RC.
Here's why I say that. Bud is extremely skilled, right? Yet not as skilled as Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather made people look foolish, right? And so if I had to say who's the greatest I've seen, and Bud said it right, the best of an era and the best of an era, it's Floyd. But when I watched Bud against Canelo, there was this extreme skill on display, and there was a level of crazy that's different. There was a level of, and Floyd's extremely tough. Go back to Shane Mosley and the 2 punches he landed early in the fight and the way that he embarrassed him. I'm not saying that Floyd's not tough, Floyd's not a bad man, but there was domination inside that ring we saw this weekend. And there's no fear in him in the way that he's attacked, gaining notoriety. Bud's been the baddest man for 12 years. But no one gave him credit because he didn't go tell you he was the baddest man. He didn't market that. He just went out and fought and beat people and knocked people out. So he had to move up and take the bigger fights and the better fights. And he was Errol Spence. We realized just how great he was. Canelo cemented him on what is the two-headed monster that marks the greatest of the 2000s. Floyd Mayweather is on that, and Bud Crawford is right next to him. I don't think we have to pick on who's better. I think they both dominated their eras equally.
So what made Bud throw the punch? Was it just about respect or the lack of it? For years, Floyd Mayweather has maintained that no fighter after him is worthy of being compared. Whenever fans brought up a matchup with Terence Crawford, he would often brush it off, laugh it away, and reassert that he remains the greatest of all time, while dismissing Bud's name from the conversation.
I had to have 70 fights or 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that.
But then everything changed when Bud stunned the boxing world by pulling off the unthinkable against Canelo Alvarez. That wasn't just an upset. It felt like a moment that reshaped the sport's history. From that point on, the pound-for-pound discussion shifted. It was no longer just about who rules the present era. The debate became much bigger. Could Terence Crawford actually be considered greater than Floyd Mayweather in boxing history?
Will a win over Canelo put you ahead of Mayweather as the greatest boxer of this generation?
Listen, I leave the opinions to everybody else, but like I said, after this fight, when I defeat Canelo, I'm gonna be on Mount Rushmore. That's where I'm gonna be.
And the real shock came when Canelo Alvarez, who has shared the ring with both Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford, publicly suggested that Crawford is the better fighter. That hit a nerve for Floyd, because one of his biggest career statements was dominating Canelo and calling it an easy night. But now, hearing Canelo speak highly of Bud instead changed the tone completely. For Mayweather, that shift in opinion was hard to ignore.
And lastly for me, champ, in the world of comparisons that we live in right now, if you can, compare and contrast the fight between yourself and Floyd Mayweather Jr. and tonight's bout with Terence Bud Crawford, if you can.
No, I think Crawford is way better than Floyd Mayweather.
So when both men eventually came face to face, it went far beyond a simple exchange of words. It became the result of years of pride, reputation, and ego finally colliding head-on.
I feel like we done seen Crawford on his, like, have his best performance that he has ever had, you know, versus Canelo. So it's like, whenever you try to compare Floyd's performance versus Crawford's performance, you know, me personally, I believe that Crawford did a lot more. But if they both were to fight each other, you know, if you would have put Floyd in his prime versus Crawford in his prime, who would y'all pick? You know, for me personally, it would be so hard because I feel like they fight very similar but very different.
Here's where the story goes even deeper. Just days before the airport clash, Floyd Mayweather sparked headlines in an interview where he hinted at a possible return to professional boxing, not another exhibition, but a real comeback in the pro ring. And the name he kept circling back to was Terence Crawford, that IT actually lines up perfectly with the narrative. Crawford represents this generation, while Floyd dominated the previous one. It's essentially the face of the past versus the face of the present, that if Mayweather truly wants to defend his legacy and prove his dominance still stands, there's no bigger matchup than that.
Yeah, so if he was pound for pound, Floyd was pound for pound. You or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that?
Me.
Oh shit, okay, I'm just asking. Floyd was pound for pound before.
That would have been a hard fucking fight though.
Man, me versus anybody, I'm gonna always say me.
Okay.
Come on now.
Let's be honest, Floyd understands the magnitude of this matchup. He knows exactly how big it would be on a historic level. For Crawford, the risk is much higher. Even if he wins, some critics would argue Floyd was already past his prime. But if he loses, it could follow his legacy, with people saying he couldn't even defeat an older Mayweather. For Floyd, the situation is more favorable. A loss would likely be excused by age and time away from top-level competition. But a victory over Crawford would be a massive statement, one that would echo through boxing history.
Looking back at like Floyd's career, like him coming up in the era that he came up in, he had all them champions that he was able to fight, and that's what led him to be so great. You know, because he fought the most champions, beat the most champions, you know, got the most money for beating the most champions. So it's just like, man, he had this guy, back to back to fight, one after one.
But before Floyd can even start thinking about a potential showdown with Crawford, he has another major challenge ahead. Mike Tyson, that's right, his next scheduled bout is an exhibition fight against the legendary Iron Mike Tyson.
Fight that fans will watch for sure is you and Mike Tyson. How's training going, Floyd? Talk to me all about this as you get ready to get back in that boxing ring once again.
Well, not really training right now.
Not yet.
You know, the fight is in 2026. We still, you know, ironing out everything, and I'm pretty sure it's gonna be exciting for the people and the fans.
Are you going in there to put Mike down and you know, like, hey, this is not, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna throw a few punches, like I'm taking this seriously and I'm trying to Mike Tyson?
I don't know. I just want to get the fans what they want to see, excitement. So I'm pretty sure it's gonna be an exciting event.
On paper, it's more of an entertainment matchup than a serious contest. Tyson is now in his 50s, while Floyd remains active, sharp, and in fighting shape. By all logic, Mayweather is expected to handle it comfortably.
Tyson and Floyd Mayweather is happening. What the f is going on? This is where boxing is in 2025. And listen, I'm not going to complain because I understand the layout of things. We already had Jake Paul, Mike Tyson. We have Jake Paul, Gervonta Tank Davis. This feels like the Temu version of it. And that sounds crazy because we have two of the greatest of all time about to participate in this, but both of them are about 30 years past their sell-by date in an exhibition bout in which their weights will be 60 to 70 to 80 pounds different. If you got on board with Jake and Mike, it was because at least they were going to weigh the same. I don't even know what to think. Someone on Twitter said it perfectly. Either everybody in the world is going to want to watch this or 10,000 people will watch it. Probably both men want a shit ton of money and they're being promised a shit ton of money, but it's happening.
But a single clean shot from Tyson could change the entire picture. If Floyd gets caught and stopped, even in an exhibition, it could completely shift the narrative. Did I end that scenario? A Crawford fight would likely disappear from discussion, because Bud wouldn't be interested in facing someone coming off a loss to a near 60-year-old Tyson. The demand from fans would drop, promoters would lose interest, and Floyd's larger-than-life image could take a serious hit.
It was recently said that you're going to be fighting Floyd Mayweather. Why the hell did he agree to fight you? That seems like a bad decision by him.
Well, listen, I was minding my business. I'm flying my birds, tending to my children, and he's the one, he came with the sign. His name was on the contract signed already. And he was talking really bad and nasty to me, and so I was like, God damn. I thought we were friendly, talking crazy.
He's all right. That's got to be such a cool thing for boxing fans, though, Mike, to have two of the all-time legends in there. Are you excited just to see the thing of that like it was with you and Roy?
Nah, man, we want to get him, man. What you talking about? That's talking crazy. Like, kick his ass.
He doesn't know what he signed up for.
Yeah, I told the exhibition, he's talking crazy.
So he's like, but Mike, come on, man. He can't be doing anything to you. Like, that's a bad decision by him.
Hey, he made a good money choice, though.
That's why the Tyson exhibition carries more weight than it appears on the surface. It's not just about physical risk for Floyd. It's about the possibility of derailing everything he's building toward in a comeback storyline that at the same time, Crawford doesn't even truly need this fight anymore. After defeating Canelo, his legacy is already considered cemented. Many fans and experts now place him among the all-time greats, that he took the risk, moved up in weight, and overcame one of boxing's biggest names, solidifying his status in the sport's history.
Thank you, GOAT, because you are the GOAT of this era. Terence Bud Crawford.
He could step away from boxing right now, leave the sport behind, and still be remembered as the fighter who stunned the world and overcame every challenge placed in front of him.
For the fight, the Crawford-Canelo fight, and you had a Cavs hat on. This time you've got a GOAT hat on. Is that how you're feeling? I know it says Muhammad Ali, but is that how you're feeling about Bud's performance, about his whole career?
Yeah, I'm definitely feeling that way, man. He's a GOAT. Greatest of all time, man. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to his coaches, not just me, Saul Red, Bernie, Chet, nutritionists, everybody played a part.
Canelo said he's way better than Mayweather. What do you think to that?
Who, Terence?
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Of course he is.
Facing Floyd is seen more as a money-driven move than a legacy-defining one. Even if Crawford were to win, critics would argue it wasn't against Floyd in his prime, keeping the debate alive about who would win in a prime versus prime scenario. Because of that, some voices around the sport believe Bud should avoid the call-out entirely. In their view, he's already proven everything he needs to.
Crawford is the best fighter on the planet. Pound for pound, he's that dude. In this four-belt era, he is now the undisputed world champion 3 times over. 140 pounds, 147, now 168 pounds, claiming all the belts. You don't see people doing that very often. Going up against a guy who was perceived as being bigger and stronger, Crawford was strong. Crawford was strong enough to fend him off, strong enough to make him respect his own power. He used his jab, he used his distance. He had poise in the ring, he wasn't rattled. He backed up and moved when necessary and kept us different. He exchanged enough to gain respect when necessary. It was a brilliant, brilliant, masterful fight on Terence Crawford's part.
But to be clear, there's no soft way to put it. If this fight actually happens, it carries real risk for Crawford. Not in terms of physical danger, but in how it could impact his legacy.
A lot of comparisons between Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather. We've even had the conversation to go as far as who would win in a fight between Terence and Floyd. And I truly don't know the answer to that question.
I do.
You do?
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win that fight?
Floyd.
Floyd would win that
Yes,
fight.
sir. I love you, Terrence.
Always figures it out.
Yeah, he's a chess master.
Yeah, his IQ in that
The
shit
funny
is
thing
crazy.
about it is Terrence has been the only other guy that people can say he always figures it out. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
But you gotta have an OG somewhere.
Anybody
though.
else?
There's an OG
Somebody
somewhere.
got to pioneer,
that you
right?
can't
Yeah,
out-figure
yeah,
out.
you got to.
There's an OG you can't out-figure out
Yeah,
somewhere.
yeah,
And I just
yeah.
believe Floyd is that OG you can't out-figure out.
Beating a near 50-year-old Floyd Mayweather likely wouldn't convince the critics, as many would dismiss it due to age. But a loss, on the other hand, could be damaging, shifting perception of Crawford from the sport's top fighter to someone who fell short against a retired legend. For Mayweather, there's very little risk to his standing. His legacy is already established and largely untouchable. For Crawford, however, the stakes are much higher. With every performance being closely judged, that's why the airport incident carries weight beyond the moment itself. It ties into a much bigger story.
You could take a guy like Canelo, this guy could do, he can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about Canelo. Easy, man. Cakewalk, easy. Y'all sitting up here, y'all praising this dude was nothing. I was almost 40 years old when I cooked this dude. Easy. Y'all always disrespecting our fighters.
It all felt like the opening move in a much larger chess match. At Dubai Airport, Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather finally came face to face. Crawford threw a punch. The footage went viral instantly, and the boxing world lit up just like that. The debate over the greatest boxer of all time was pulled right back into the spotlight, more intense than ever.
Floyd versus Triple G. Listen, man, Floyd didn't fight him, and Floyd is an all-time great. But what a missed opportunity. You got Crawford going from 135 and talking about fighting Canelo at 168. It's kind of the same thing, except for Floyd fought a few times at 154. I'm not faulting Floyd for not fighting Triple G. I totally get it. I'm just saying that upper echelon, the reason why I will always have Sugar Ray Leonard over Floyd is the crazy, the insane part of it. What Terence Crawford is talking about doing, he ain't saying, let me meet Canelo at a catchweight. Canelo's undisputed there. Let me go get him.
But this situation goes far beyond a single punch. That IT connects back to Floyd Mayweather's hints about returning to professional boxing and the risks tied to his upcoming Tyson exhibition. It also ties into Terence Crawford's rising legacy after defeating Canelo Alvarez and securing his place among boxing's elite. Did I end the bigger picture? It represents two different eras of boxing finally colliding at the same time.
Have you thought about going for 51-0, beating Mayweather's record with 50-0? Is that something that you thought about?
I already said I was never gonna beat Mayweather record. That's not something that I wanted to do.
Okay.
To be honest, I was gonna retire if I didn't get this Errol Spence fight.
And that wraps up today's video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification so you don't miss any future uploads. Also, drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your take. Stay connected, and we'll see you in the next one.